sorry, Eric. So just a small tis but a scratch. And he's back and ready for action, probably with a little bit of protection on his shin.
And they're counting us down for the opening set between the Dutch and Ryujin Nippon. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Team captain Ishikawa will kick us off with a service fault, and the Dutch are on the board first. So many fan signs inside the Volleyball Nations arena. And if I'm to take a gander at this, probably 70–60% cheering for Ryujin Nippon as the Dutch off to a good start.
I'd say it's a pretty conservative estimate, but it feels like it's 80–20 at a minimum. But people who are coming to see world-class volleyball here in Pasay City, great to see full stands and people loving the game.
Fabian Plak, whose sister Celeste also plays professional volleyball out in Italy. Nice save by Ogawa. As Otsuka with a nice hit. Van Hageren failing to make the save.
A valiant effort by Martin van Garderen. Fabian Plak puts his body in the right place but cannot keep the ball in the middle of the court. Lovely speed from Otsuka. Getting to the point of attack before Mikael Parkinson can meet him.
That is the first point of Japan here in the opening set. Van Hageren with a receive. And that's an automatic point. Wouter Termat.
Termat, not normally playing as a receiving player, has always been playing as an opposite for nearly his whole career. So a new role for him.
Nimir coming off, what is it, a 9-ace performance? And that first one into the net.
Well, if you're a Dutch fan, you're hoping that's just a sider. He's getting it calibrated because it was an immense serving effort. And I think the cheers in the crowd let you know who's about to serve for Japan.
His serve record was 7 versus Bulgaria in 2019 in the VNL. And that clip the take. Nimir on the attack. Off Ogawa. The rally continues. And what a nice dunk coming from Otsuka.
Well, Yuji Nishida gets the first one off the tape. And the touch by Ogawa to keep the ball in play. Otsuka finishes it off. Nishida once more. 3-3.
2-point run for Ryujin Nippon. That is outside. Nishida, coming off a 19-point performance, made his professional debut at 17 years old. Meantime, 33-year-old Wouter Termat. There's the up by Ishikawa. Nishida on the attack. Got it.
Yuji Nishida is definitely one of the more demonstrative Japanese players. He loves to get the fans involved and show his emotion on the court.
And if the fans get any more involved than right now, we're going to need some headphone amplifiers because I can barely hear Liam Sketcher already as it is. And we're just early. First 8 points of the opening set. Parkinson got it.
As has been the case so often for Japan in recent years with Sekita front row, whichever middle is next to him, it has to take a little bit more responsibility to cover some space. And there, Parkinson gets the advantage.
Parkinson coming off a 2-point performance against Brazil. Did see action against Iran. Or at least didn't see much action. Ishikawa getting into the scoring picture. That is his first of the game. Van Hageren, one-handed dig. And Sekita keeping it alive. Battle at the net, won by Plak. There's Ishikawa backing up for it and scoring back-to-back points for Ryujin Nippon.
The question from the Dutch players, whether the ball passed on the correct side of the antenna or not when it was brought back by Japan.
I have the system.
It can go.
I have the system.
Here. Over.
I have the system too.
That is the explanation, that it is supervised by the video referees up in the stands. And they will get a notification when the ball has crossed the wrong plane.
And it is a pretty efficient system so far. We've had it over 3 days already as Van Harderen knocks it in.
It's a play you'll probably see a lot with Vessel Kaming setting, that he likes to run the middle close to him, and that creates a longer journey for the opposition middle to cover the edges of the court.
Speaking of Vessel Kaming, 15 excellent sets, but had an 8% success rate in the last game. Nice shot coming from Takahashi. Japan up by 1. This is their first taste of the lead after trailing by 2 early in the opening set. Sekita. Good pass by Ondrinha. And Fabian Black puts it away.
Fabian Black is a wonderful volleyball athlete. Really great strength, really great height at the net. But does have this tendency sometimes to try and go for really extreme angles, as he does on his last effort.
Van Harderen with a pass. Kaming again. Black getting it off the block touch.
And this is the kind of shot that Black should be settling, well, not settling for, but choosing to play a little bit more often. He's so high, can work the ball strong. Doesn't have to bounce every ball, can swing deep into the court with good effect.
Back-to-back points. Fabian Black has 2 already, but they're still trailing. Netherlands down by 1. Sekita sets it up. And once again, Takahashi goes by Kentaro on his jersey.
Kentaro follows all the way over towards position 2. That forces the pressure on the Dutch block to make a choice. Do they go? They jump with him? Do they not commit there and leave the chance the ball goes somewhere else? That indecision cost them.
28-year-old Yuki Ishikawa, the first volleyball player with a wax figure in Japan. From the back row, flying in, Van Harderen, now has rejected Kentaro with another point.
Great read by Kentaro. Sends it straight down. Fabian Black having that one lands in his lap, but he can do nothing about it.
Biggest lead for Ryujin Nippon at 3 points. Nimir. Ishikawa over Dig. And Nimir tries again, this time against Sekita, and scores.
Otsuka makes the adjustment on the second swing. Good defense on the first action. Otsuka stays inside, tries to get to the point of the ball, but in vain as Nimir sends it sailing past for another point.
That is the first point for Nimir. Well, again, coming off a 37-point performance, along with 9 aces. Fabian Black popped up by Ishikawa. Sekita all the way out to Otsuka with a push. Otsuka rejected. Here's Nishida. The up by Van Harderen. Kaming to Termat against 2 blockers. Termat again. And he's turned away.
It's a wonderful set by Nimir. The execution of the skill is really good. The problem is that gives the Japanese blockers enough of a head start, knowing that there's nowhere else that ball is going than towards position 4.
Japan once again sitting on a 3-point cushion. Kentaro. Pass by Van Harderen. And a quick hit coming from Parkinson.
Vessel Kaming sprawling on the floor to get this ball to the hand of Mikael Parkinson. Great commitment to the choice from Kaming.
Caught the ball on the way up. And now Nimir looking to make it a 2-point run. No, throws that serve away.
Just misses the corner.
So the first 2 serves of Nimir has not made it yet. First timeout, Roberto Piazza will talk things over. Netherlands down by 3.
Oh, you know that you are in the game perfect now, no? You know exactly. One situation, in transition, we must have patience. We have not to hit the ball on the first, on the second one. Find a solution, play 2 times, and when the ball is perfect, you can score points. Go, guys, go!
Coach Piazza, former middle blocker out of Italy, head coach of Allianz Milano. Trying to turn things around here. He doesn't want Japan to run away with us. Already up by 3 points. Namir, only 1 point so far. Actually, all the players, 1 point, not all of them, but Van Hagenen with 1, Namir with 1, Termat with 1 as well. Served by Nishida, popped up by Van Hagenen. Termat, got it.
That's what he adds to the Dutch attack. He's a much more experienced attacker than they have the option of with Gijs. So bringing a lot of experience into the lineup with Andringa, Tamat, Namir, Kaming, Parkinson, Van Garen. They've got a lot of guys who know how to operate at a very high level.
Sakita chasing that pass down. Otsuka, yes, against Andringa, no less.
Andringa gets caught with his arms pointing to the floor, or his hands pointing to the floor, needs to get the arms away from the body. His positioning was pretty good. He makes the move, but cannot get the right angle on the platform.
So once again, a 3-point cushion for Japan. There's a better pass from Andringa. Van Hagenen, Ogawa pops it up. Sakita, underhand pass. Here comes Ishikawa. Rolls it over the block. Came in to Namir. Yes!
It was the only place that the Netherlands could go, but what a good place to go to.
You can never go wrong with Namir, who right now is top scorer of the 2024 VNL.
Change for the Netherlands. Silmace comes in to serve for Mikael Parkinson.
Silmace, 11 excellent sets, a much better success rate than Kaming in the last game against Iran. In fact, he started from the second set onwards. That serve is outside.
It's a short toss. In terms of his arm action, he didn't really finish his toss. It was just a flick of the wrist and never found the rhythm that he wanted. Silmace. Onodera gets the chance to serve for Japan.
Kaming to Black. Oh, Black has been on the mark so far today.
When he's on time and takes the ball high and swings for the deep parts of the court, Fabian Black will score efficiently. Very hard to stop him.
Black didn't have a point against Iran, but right now already with 3. Kaming. Sakita. Went to Kentaro. Netherlands thought it was going to Ishikawa.
The call here to run a set with some space between Sekita and Kentaro. I'll finish that after. You see Sekita serve.
Van Hagenen. The up by Otsuka. There's a shot by Ishikawa. That is good.
The choice to run that set with some space causes just enough of a timing difference for the middles. They're expecting either the ball to be really close to the setter or to be sort of 1.5 meters, 2 meters away. So that in-between ball gives enough time to try and recalculate and gives Kentaro the advantage.
Sakita rolls it over the net cord. Andringa to Van Hagenen against a triple block. Sakita with an easy dig. Ogawa will set it to Ishikawa. Triple block is there. Termat pops it up. Andringa again will set. This time Namir. Ishikawa with the up. Nishida goes full swing. Blocked. And the dump is good. Kentaro will score. There's a yellow card against the Dutch as well.
The reaction from Fabian Plak happening away from the replay, gets both hands on the net and gives it a tug to try and demonstrate that there was a net touch. There was not, and that reaction has drawn the first sanction of the evening.
But Kentaro, an excellent start for him, 4 points. The middle's very active for both teams. Plack, on the other hand, with 3. Combination play, and Tamat puts it away.
Tamat buries that ball into the midsection of Sekita. Lovely timing on this. And good spacing as well. It's not just straight over the top. There's that space in the seam between the middle blocker that Walter Tamat can run into.
Biggest lead was 5 points for Ryujin Nippon, and goes back up to 5 with Van Harteren service fault.
It's good to see that Andrea Pucca from Italy not afraid to give out the cards. He wants to run a tight ship today and let the volleyball be decided on the court.
Fans cheering for Ishikawa, team captain. Tamat with a receive. That was a block against Namir. I go to Tamat. Otsuka. Ondrega back to Tamat. Didn't like it. Pushed it and scored. What an adjustment for Walter Tamat.
Fantastic solution. He mistimed the ball completely. He was way too early. Fakes out one hand and jams it into the face of Nishida. Silmace finishes his role and exchanges his spot with Mikael Parkinson. Fabian Plack steps out and Svan Wiltenberg will come in to replace him.
Namir and the rest of the Netherlands still in it, only down by 4. Otsuka makes it a 5-point cushion once again.
Good check swing by Otsuka. He doesn't try and bury this ball, just plays over the top of the block and forces the Dutch defense to respond to it, which they are unable to. Van Garderen all the way in the corner.
That's number 4 for Otsuka. Kentaro serves it outside. And head coach Philippe Blaine. And it is very wide. Served by Kentaro. Namir. What a receive from Ogawa. Nishida, full swing, got it.
The swing was enough, but ends up being a net touch on Walter Tamat. Ogawa fights off the ball, a strong serve, and just gives a chance on what we would call an exclamation reception. So on the 3-meter line, in the middle of the court, where Sekita can still play fast in both directions.
Japan restoring a 5-point lead. Van Hateren with a receive. Namir, bang! Oh, what an up! Coming from Otsuka. Another chance for the Netherlands. The drop shot coming from Tamat. Ogawa sets it. Otsuka pushes on Ondrega. Kaming one-handed set. Namir into the net. Japan now with their biggest lead at 6 points, forcing Coach Piazza to burn his final timeout. We will listen in.
Guys, they are defending like crazy as is normally. We can hit the ball. Little bit better, watch out. Because in position 6, no one ball is falling down. In position 6. And also tip at the block, no way. So, 6-1 or 6-5 are the spot. Go, guys, go!
In what comes as a surprise to nobody, Japan is defending like crazy, as Roberto Piazza explains to his team. And he's asking them to not try and hit just their strongest shot, but to work on the angles either side of position 6. Doesn't have to be big angles, but to get into that space, force a little bit longer, move from the defender in 6 to play the ball.
Nishida and the rest of Japan won against the Netherlands in the 2023 VNL. That was in 4 sets. 21 serving 15. And this one into the net, so it's back to a 5-point deficit against the Dutch.
His first set has been played at a frenetic pace. It doesn't feel like it's a 5-point advantage to Japan. The Netherlands really fighting hard.
Tamat already with 4 points. And returns the point right back off of service fault.
Substitutions on both sides. Valatamat steps out. Raisiona comes in to add something to the Dutch receiving corps. And with a double substitution for Japan, Miyaura in for Sekita and Fukatsu replacing Nishida.
Otsuka, gorgeous serve. Kamink, and Parkinson will put it in.
Ves Kamink is 2 meters tall and can jump pretty well, but the technique he uses, you see how he straightens his arms, keeps his wrists very close together, and just lets the ball bounce off his hands to reduce the distance that it travels from his hands to the middles, and also make the contact point a little bit higher, reducing the time that the Japanese blockers and defenders have to react.
Parkinson. There's Otsuka bouncing it off. No, beg your pardon, that is Miyaura. Blocked. So it's a 2-point run for the Dutch.
The new hitter in the game, no problem for Van Garen, chooses his spot really well against the left-handed Miyaura.
Here comes Fukatsu. That is nice point for Onodera.
Fukatsu does offer a little bit more size at the net, but the change will come for Japan in the serving role. Masato Kai replaces Onodera.
Kai, as you see Wiltenberg sit down. Kai did not score against Canada in the 5-set loss, plays professionally in France. 23 serving 18. Oh, gets a trickler through. Kamink, Van Harderen, cut shot is no good.
Van Garen takes the sharp angle, and the ball is too wide and a little bit low, so trying to get back to his target area in the court. The net gets in the way, bobbles along.
6 set points for Ryujin Nippon here in the opening set. Kai, second straight serve. And it's an ace for his first point in the 3rd leg of the 2024 VNL.
There's a reason why he is regarded as one of the bright talents of Japanese volleyball. He's a different type of player. He's a little bit taller, stands at 2 meters, plays a little bit more of a physical style than a lot of the Japanese players, but backs that up with good technical development as well.
Another look from the POV, point of view of the Dutch. That ace coming from the 20-year-old Masato Kai.
But it will be Nemiya to get us underway in the 2nd set.
Nemiya only with 2 points, looking for his first ace today. Nishida passes to Ishikawa. Through with a double block. Kamink puts it up. Nemiya blocked. Parkinson keeping it alive. Here comes Termat against the triple block. Oh, what a cut shot for Termat.
Beautiful job against the triple. We didn't see Nemiya's first ace, but it was a very good try and kept Japan on the back foot the whole way through that point. Termat beats the Japanese block.
That was a wonderful toss. Unfortunately, that went into the net for Nemiya. For the first point of Japan. Crowd cheering for Yuki Ishikawa. And Ishikawa is the one that gets an ace. First one for set number 2. They need 2-point run for Japan to take the lead here in the 2nd set after winning by 7 in the opening set. Much better pass by Termat. Here comes Nemiya. Paused a little bit. Off the bicep of Ishikawa and outside. Terrific set by Kamink to split the blockers and put Nemiya on a 1-on-1 with a blocker. Termat. Passed by Okawa. Sekita There's Ishikawa soaring high from the back row.
In the open net, very little the Dutch can do to stop the flying Ishikawa. Interestingly, the Japanese service tactics haven't put a lot of ball on Walter Tomaat. They've still been targeting Van Garderen and Ondringa, though they are taking a bigger amount of court than they normally do to try and hide Walter Tomaat.
Kentaro to Van Garderen. Nimir. And that angle misses the mark. Outside point for Japan. Nimir still trying to find his rhythm. Only with 3 points. Fan signs. Kentaro serving 4-2. Nice pass by Ondringa and allowing Kaming to set up Parkinson for the point.
This is what Piazza was asking for, not to be hitting the ball at 6, just a little bit either side, and put the ball in a decision point between Japanese defenders.
Chance to tie on the Parkinson serve. Sekita, Otsuka, rejected. Ishikawa keeping it alive. Here comes Nishida. Yes! And this is the dilemma. If you're the Dutch, I mean, Ishikawa on one end, Nishida on the other.
It really splits the offense. It makes it very hard for the middles, Fabian Plak in that situation, to be able to cover the full 9 meters of the net.
Japan up by 2. Nishida outside. Japan allowing the Dutch to hang around with service faults. Ogawa passes Sekita back to Nishida, making up for the error. Got it.
There will be a challenge coming from the Netherlands.
What will be challenge? Center line fault. Center line fault.
The challenge is the center line fault. That the ball was still in the air when Nishida stepped over the net.
That was a left foot that went a little over.
The issue may be the positioning of Van Garderen to be able to see the line, as they were both in the space next to the pole where the camera is. The first question is, was there a foot fault at all? Does he keep his feet where they're supposed to be? And then the question is the ball still alive at that point?
Well, I see the challenge crew here. They have several screens open up and one monitor, so to clearly see. One screen focusing on the ball, the other on the foot of Nishida.
Everyone looking on intently, including Roberto Piazza.
And here is the result. We'll flash it up on the screen at the venue and on your TV sets or apps, wherever you're watching.
The cheer is that they just showed Yuji Nishida on the big screen. And here is the call. There is a center line fault while the ball is in the air.
Oh, terrific what technology can do. Several cameras catching different pieces of action.
Great challenge. This Kaming picks up the vision. He had the right angle to see it. Roberto Piazza trusting his judgment. And the end gets the Netherlands a much needed point. Score reset to 5-5. Kaming to serve.
Netherlands looking to retake the lead. Here in the second set. Well, combination play. Otsuka on the tail end of it. And he knocks it in. Otsuka now with 5 points.
And after all that waiting, 6 seconds of play later, maybe not even 6 seconds, Japan goes back to the 6-5 lead.
Otsuka rotates to the back for the serve. Kamink to Namir. One-on-one against Sekita, and he fails to capitalize, hitting the antenna.
That is not a matchup that you would give Sekita very good odds with. But Namir tries to go too fine on the line and only finds antenna.
Again, Namir really struggling. A set and a half in already. Kamink this time goes to Van Harteren, who finds the mark.
Namir has put in such a huge shift this week for the Dutch team. Trying to spread the load around a bit more today. Tamat leading the scoring.
Van Harteren softens up on the serve. Terrible pass coming from Ishikawa leads to an easy point for the Dutch.
Ishikawa just throws his arms at the ball, never adjusts his body position to keep the posture and get the platform where he needed it to be.
So a chance to take the lead, but too soft on the serve for Van Harteren. Wasted opportunity.
Don't know if it was a change of mind during the serve or he didn't feel good with the toss, but it didn't look like he really committed to any action. The Onodera serve now. Tamat stands out on Drinker and Van Garderen, taking the whole court with the two receivers.
Kamink this time the block off the block of Kentaro, and the Netherlands tie the game at 8.
Fabian Plak running the 7 to shoot the longer ball. Kentaro does a good job of not just following the body, but at the last second reaches out with the hands and opens up the forearm for Plak to swing off.
There comes Ishikawa.
That is a delightful swing. The speed and precision of the set allows Ishikawa to just rip his hand through the ball. Crossbody angle through the Namir block. That is why he has so many fans all over the world.
And in fact, his fans snapped up so many tickets to his Allianz Milano game. In the meantime, Kentaro makes it a 2-point cushion for Japan.
Tamat finally being called into the reception duty, but the quality a little bit lacking. Only one option left for Kamink to set.
Sekita. Kamink to Tamat. Oh, single man block. Nishida erases the hit on Tamat.
11-8 lead to Japan. Excuse me, 11-8 lead to Japan. Timeout Netherlands while I take a drink of water.
Oh, my mistake. It's not my or the other one. But every time when we are close, it's our side that need to improve something. Because they are doing nothing special now. And also our pass is good enough. So we need to be able to score, guys. You know, hit the ball long and that's it. Go, guys, go, go.
Well, the Netherlands find themselves playing catch-up once again, as you see the 2-point run there by Ryujin Nippon to establish his 3-point cushion. Nishida now with 5. Second leading scorer behind Ishikawa, 6. Otsuka as well, off to a good start. In the place of Ran Takahashi has 5 as well.
Even showing pictures on the screen of the Japanese players is drawing cheers. Sekita.
Oh, not a good pass from Termati, gets it back. The push is outside. After a timeout, not a good response by the Dutch. So Jorma will check in for Termat.
They have to stabilize from reception. Japan have kept Tamat cold. They haven't served a lot of ball and then go at him a couple of times in a row. So Jorma maybe decreases their firepower in attack, but will stabilize their reception and get the balance back in their receiving group.
Namir turned away by Ishikawa. Jorma Ogawa pops it up. Here comes Sekita. Back to Ishikawa, who nails that one. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, he does. Dutch barely heard the whistle, and this is why they chased the second touchdown.
Andringa uses the knee. Kamink uses the back heel, but the ball had hit the floor. Another timeout for the Netherlands.
One more time. Sekita on serve. We can pass the ball comfortable for our setter. You can play where you want because now all the balls are okay. Cover the other one. We need to do this side out, guys. Now, go.
With Sekita serve, there is the challenge of trying to do too much. That it's not going to be super strong as long as the receivers are in a good starting position. They should be able to pass comfortably. They don't need to be super aggressive. They can play within a meter of the net, and Kamink can still use all of his options.
Well, let's see if the adjustments can be made here by the Dutch. They are out of timeouts already, and this is the biggest deficit against them. Japan up by 5. Sekita with another serve. Andringa with an overpass and a chance to score again. Kentaro makes it a 6-point lead for Ryujin Nippon.
It's such a tough block decision on this shoot set. You don't want to give up the middle as the middle blocker and fly out, but then if you don't, it means that you really need the help block to stay close.
The Dutch continue to struggle against the Sekita serve. Otsuka sets it up. Nishida! There's Andringa with a beautiful dig. Yorna underhand pass, another chance to attack for Japan. Sekita to the back row. Otsuka overpassed. Sekita. And this time Ishikawa bounces it off the mirror and scores. The run continues for Japan.
Otsuka puts on the show, showing both options on the pipe approach, setting the first ball, attacking the second. But it is Yuki Ishikawa who works it off the block.
Tremendous energy coming from Japan. Middle of the second set. And they're now up by 7. Biggest lead. Parkinson approaches. Here comes the mirror against a double block and finally gets a side out for the Dutch.
Ogawa had a perfect position to watch that ball travel through his legs. And at pace. And for the first time this week, we'll see Mikael Ahi come in for the Netherlands as the blocking sub for Vessel Kamink.
Oh, and there's the first ace of Emir Abdelaziz, the team captain of the Netherlands.
He played his club volleyball last season for the Gießen Grizzlies in the German Bundesliga and had a great season.
Sekita. Ishikawa down the line. Yes.
So Ahi will not just be the blocking sub. The change for the Netherlands, Nemir out, Silmace in. So the Netherlands automatically revert to rotation 1. But get 3 more rotations with 3 front court hitters.
Terrific receive coming from Van Hagen and Ahi with a tip. Ishikawa becomes the setter. Nishida. Andringa passes. Here comes Ahi on the attack. Ogawa pops it up. Sekita all the way out to Otsuka. Yes!
The composure to not put the ball sharp, to work high off Parkinson. Kentaro and Parkinson having clashed hands during that point.
7-point lead for Ishikawa. Otsuka and the rest of Ryujin Nippon. And the Netherlands out of timeouts. Ishikawa floats a serve in. Van Hageren. That is a point for the Dutch.
When you bring a new setter into the game, it really changes the flow of the offense, and it's about getting the other side to respond to those new inputs.
Ogawa with a pass. Sekita to Nishida. Off the block. Yes. Clearly off Van Hadren's hands. Back to a 7-point cushion for Nishida and Japan. Kentaro serving. Fully in control of set number 2, Ryujin Nippon. Mays to Ai. Off the block, and Ai gets his first point here in the Philippine leg.
Really strong shoulder on Mikhail Ai. And he gets a chance. A better set is a little rushed on the first ball in position 4. He will be off to Korea next season.
Chiquita. An easy point coming from Onodera.
Once more, it's not the long set. It's a little bit closer. But Onodera runs this so well. Him and Yamauchi, who we haven't seen, they get that ball on such a fast speed and get their hand in the right spot really efficiently.
Van Hadren picks up the serve of Nishida and sends it right back with interest.
Silmace will cease his involvement in this set. I'm sure there's many more sets of volleyball for him in a Dutch national team jersey to come, but Namir re-enters the fray.
And it looks like Namir, is he going to be playing setter in this sequence? Triple block against Otsuka. Yeah, Namir will set. Ai. Yes!
Namir winding back the clock to the role they originally wanted him to play for the national team as a setter before they discovered they have one of the best opposites in the world playing there. Well picked up by Eric Tipan. He's one step ahead. He continues to serve.
Netherlands on a 2-point run, but Ai sends that one out.
That will also bring the end to Namir's setting duties. As Veskamik returns to the play. For Japan, it is the double substitution. Sekida out, Miyaroa in. Nishida out, Katsu in.
The Dutch, precarious situation. Could end up falling behind 2-0. Good pass by Ondringa. Coming to Van Hadren. Ogawa pops it up. And a chance ball here for the Dutch. Namir. Great save by Namir after he got blocked. Van Hadren looking for the block touch. He got it.
Ishikawa did raise his hand briefly, which may look like an indication of a block touch, but then he says no, let's challenge that call.
I ask you, you say yes.
The raise of the hand, not clear enough that he was saying no. It did look like an admission. So the challenge by Japan to make sure the right result ends up.
Head coach Philippe Lane, and there is Roberto Piazza, the head coach of the Netherlands. And right now, the Netherlands in a 4-game losing streak.
Okay.
Want to snap it against Japan.
Can you put? The pin is right. There is no block touch.
So no block touch.
Doesn't work. The image doesn't work.
We're not able to present the image,
For net fault.
and it'll be a challenge for a net fault from the Netherlands. Unable to put the image on the big screen, so the announcement from Andrea Pucar. That's a different question that Roberto Piazza was asking. And he is very familiar with Yuki Ishikawa. So maybe a little twinkle in the eye gave something away.
All right, we got a good close-up of the replay prior to what will be flashing on the big screen and on your TV sets.
The announcement will come from Andrea Pucar. A message from the officials, and he will announce now.
Screen image is unavailable. After video verification, there is no touch on the net.
So no block touch. 2 challenges on the play,
And
resulting in 1 point
for Japan. Right, all in favor of Japan. So it's a 7-point cushion for Japan, and they are 4 points away from winning back-to-back sets. Otsuka. Rodrigo pops it up. Nimir, triple block against him. Otsuka diving, fails to save the first touch.
Defensive positioning from Japan is really interesting. They end up with 2 players almost side by side in the back corner of the court with Ogawa and Otsuka. So Nimir works the short side and Otsuka cannot recover.
So Van Harderen and the Dutch looking to make a run here. They need consecutive points to get back in this set. Otsuka will deny them that luxury.
Japanese side out now gives Masato Kai a chance to enter the game and serve in place of Onodera.
Remember, Kai served the final point of the opening set, and the crowd enjoying the action. The final game of our triple header on day number 3 of the 2024 VNL here in the Philippines. Kai with a service fault.
The ball got out to the right of his shoulder, so he had to take a step, but was still trying to bring the ball back into the middle of the court. So drops the arm angle a little bit wider instead of at the top of his reach. Sends the ball into the net.
Meantime, Fabian Plack, after a good start, has been silent here in set number 2. Good save coming from Ishikawa. Oh, the over-receive keeps the rally alive. Lorna pops it up. Nimir. Terrific defense by Japan.
Wonderful scrambling on both sides of the net. The Japanese block scrambling. Vessel Keming sets the ball really aggressively to the antenna. Nimir tries to work it, but Ishikawa has his hands in exactly the right position. Bring it back off Nimir and out for a Japanese point. 23-16 lead. Miyaura to serve.
Another service fault for Japan. Six-point game. Biggest lead was 7 for the red shirts of Ryuji Nippon. Nimir with 6. Already has 1 ace. And that's number 2.
A really late shuffle from Japan to get 4 receivers into the pattern. As a result, no one really getting their feet set. And the threat of Nimir after that first ace calls for a Japanese timeout.
You don't want to control it, just yeah, be ready because now we know, so perhaps he will. He will move on this one. Hey, we keep it. Hey, come on.
The now he will know is after the move to 4 receivers that potentially Nimir will try and work the right-hand side of the court, where Yuji Nishida will slide back into the reception. He is by double the serving point scoring leader for the VNL, as much as the 2 players behind him combined.
7 points for Nimir already. He has been up and down with his serve today. And that will put Japan at 6 set points 24 serving 18. Ishikawa, the team captain, will do the honors and try to get an ace to close this one off and go up 2-0. Ooh. Put a little too much behind that. So the Dutch still alive. One set point coughed up by Japan. Now served by Isiorna. And Kentaro wastes no more set points, puts this one away.
Another comprehensive set win by the Japanese team. Once more, it felt like the Netherlands were never really out of the game. They had that one little patch where Japan decided to target Tamat on reception. And that gave them the advantage that the Netherlands could never shorten. But until that point, and afterwards, the score can get away from you like it has for the Dutch in the first 2 sets.
Well, it is now or never for the Dutch against Otsuka and Japan. We're up 2-0. Otsuka, second leading scorer, maybe got third leading scorer with 7. They are led by Ishikawa's 10 and Kentaro with 8. Third set underway. Parkinson, that rally kept alive, came back to Parkinson and a block by Kentaro. Make that Onodera. The push by Termat. And there's Onodera with a point.
That is such a good find. The ball coming over Sekita's shoulder, and it's the long set, so he won't see his target until the very last second. So to square up and get the ball fast into Onodera in the right position. Great connection between Sekita and Onodera.
That is 4 for Onodera, and Japan is on the board first. Termat pops it up. Kaming back to Termat. Yes!
Tamat restarts the third set and gets the scoreboard 1 in the favor of the Netherlands, leveling us at 1 apiece.
Here's Ai. Dribbles it off the net. Terrific block. Parkinson gets the better of Onodera in that exchange.
Good discipline on block by Parkinson. He takes the 1 step to his hitter and doesn't reach out. Stays straight, knows Onodera wants to cut the ball back into the court.
So the Netherlands up by 1. Sekita. This time to Ishikawa, who sends it.
Sends it.
Yeah. First
Sends
referee,
it.
Andrea Pucar, keeping us all in suspense.
Building the drama. Yep, the Dutch players are waiting with excitement.
Yeah.
Philip Blount is waiting. What's going to happen? Nobody knows.
Not even Andrea Pucar.
No sense of occasion. He could at least start to yeah, Philip Blount out of your frame suggesting rock, paper, scissors to decide this one. And it's a point for the Netherlands.
That one is wide.
Who says refereeing is boring? That was great. Smiles all round. Michael Ai gets another chance to serve. He has a really strong shoulder. Did a great job for the Gießen Grizzlies this season.
And right there is the commentator's curse from Liam Sketcher.
I think I specialize in that, to be fair.
So that 2-point lead of the Dutch down to 1. Onodera will serve. Termat passes. Oh, and a nice hit. Parkinson got that one smoking hot.
Tamat does a really good job holding his position, just using strength in his hands and wrists to get that ball in Kaming's direction. Parkinson on time and in the right spot.
5 for Parkinson. And Netherlands back up by 2. Make that 3. Termat with an ace.
Great turn into the short angle. Picks the space between Ishikawa and the line.
Well, the Dutch, off to the kind of start that Coach Piazza is looking for. Good pass coming from Ishikawa. There's Nishida getting the side out.
He just flies into frame so fast. You're watching the reception and all of a sudden a blur behind Sekita appears.
One of the most explosive opposites the game has ever seen. Sekita serving. Japan down by 2. Van Hateren bounces it off the block. Sekita. This time to Ishikawa. That two-headed attack of Japan in full effect.
Sekita's hand and arm position. Keep an eye. He does nothing that shows that ball is going to position 4 or the middle. So hard to read. Parkinson commits because he has to in that situation.
2-point run for Ryujin Nippon. Ai got it. What an answer for the Dutch.
Lovely swing from Ai. Works the space between the block and the defenders. Not trying to put it in the small area. With Ogawa on the line, works the ball back to the middle of the court for a point.
2 for Mihail Ai. Sekita sets it up. Back row. Otsuka. Both teams playing the side-out game early here in set number 3. Ishikawa now in double digits, the only player in double digits in the match with 11. Tarmat pops it up. K-Mink, Van Hateren, triple block. Ogawa with a dig. Nishida pushes right behind the blockers. It lands.
Good variation in attack tempo from Nishida. Everyone expecting him to rip at that ball. Sees the Dutch defense in transition. And places it over the top into the waiting floor.
6-all, third set. First chance to take the lead for Ryujin Nippon. Ishikawa. And that one is outside. Netherlands back on top by 1. Vessel K-Mink to serve. Ogawa pops it up, a short pass. Ishikawa to Nishida. K-Mink chases it down. Van Hateren, hard push all the way to the middle. Donut hole in the defense of Japan.
Once again, Kentaro left holding onto his fingers, experiencing a little bit of pain. He will continue to work for Japan, and K-Mink will continue to serve for the Netherlands.
Up by 2. Make that up by 3. Service ace by K-Mink against Ogawa.
The reception error from Ogawa sends the ball flying into the hands of Kenji Ito on the Japanese bench. Netherlands once again back out to a 3-point advantage.
First point for K-Mink. Much better pass coming from Ogawa. Nishida blocked by Van Hateren, and this is the biggest lead of the Dutch at 4. Timeout for Philippe Blaine. We will listen to Japan.
We have to keep the bases working, huh? Okay? Cool. Remember, it's not a great team also in defense, so sometimes just pushing. If you are in a good condition, he's working. Huh?
Philippe Blanc reaffirming with his players that defense, or floor defense in particular, is not the strong suit of this Dutch side. They're tall, they're physical, they want to work with their block. So to keep working with the off-speed shots, the pushes, and force the Netherlands to scramble, eventually they will accumulate enough advantage.
Only 1 timeout remaining for Japan. Netherlands still with 2. Sekita out to Nishida. That's outside. Japan unraveling midway through the third set. And they're down by their biggest deficit right now at 5. And the fans getting behind. Well, the chants are, it seems, for Japan. There are some Dutch flags waving inside the venue. Nishida pops it up. Here comes Otsuka against the double block. Gets it across. Kamink to Van Harderen. Ogawa with a save. Sekita. Back row. Ishikawa. Got it.
The connection between these Japanese players and how well they understand where they need to be at what time. Ogawa makes a play. Sekita understands he still has 3 options. He can set the ball over his shoulder, he can set to position 4, or he can play the fastest ball in the middle to Ishikawa.
Kentaro serving. Good pass by Andringa. Ai with a little windmill push. That's too close to the net. Oh, but Nishida gets it through Ai. Now a chance ball for Japan. Sekita. Otsuka. Turned away. Kentaro with a save. Nishida quickly up top. Kamink overpasses, and it's a point for Ryuji Nippon.
Great scramble again by both sides. We've said that many times already tonight. Fighting hard on defense. And finally, Nishida finds the right angle and the right amount of power to finish the point for Japan.
And a 2-point run for the red shirts. Nishida picking up his, actually 8th point. Roberto Piazza looking a little concerned. His 5-point lead has been cut down. Kentaro, second straight serve. Oh, beautiful down the line. That was popped up by Van Harderen. Ai! Outside. Yes. No. There is a block touch, says Andrea Pucar, our first referee. So the Dutch stop the 2-point run on its tracks and will be back up by 4. Van Harderen, Sekita, all the way out to the other side, and Nishida rewards it with a gorgeous swing and a point.
Fabian Plack gets caught with a small step towards position 4 and has to make the big, long journey out towards Nishida, but cannot arrive in time.
Serving 12. Andringa with a pass. Here comes Ai again. Ishikawa chases it down. Sekita to Nishida. Yes! Back-to-back points for Yuji Nishida.
A nice run for Japan, and for the Netherlands, it's about finding their control, getting 1 point back in the direction, maintaining their advantage, but it'll take a timeout first from Roberto Piazza.
One situation, the opposite is not true, is not able, but he's hitting every time from here, the ball here. Every time. The closer one in the line was here. So leave space in the line. Robert can take a ball on bomb on the face, doesn't matter, but leave space and take the ball on defense. Go, guys! Go!
Both coaches calling 1 timeout each, and there's 1 remaining for both the Netherlands and Japan. The Dutch led by as many as 5, and now they're holding on to a 2-point cushion. Nishida has the last 2 points of Ryuji Nippon, and now he has 11. 2 players from Japan in double digits. Ishikawa leading the way with 12. Meantime, the Dutch led by Van Harderen with 8. And a couple of players, Nimir and Termat, with 7 each. Oh! Nishida! That is ace number 4. Too hot for Termat. And served by Nishida. Japan now within 1. 11 serving 12. Oh. Kamik to Termat, answers backhand is denied.
Lovely finish by Onodera. Sekita sets the edge. Onodera closes a strong left hand. We're level at 12s. And Tom Cope's in for Termat to see his first action as a receiving attacking player today.
Comeback is complete for Japan. They tie the game at 12. Nimir looking on. Oh, another ace!
Doing it with power, doing it with precision. Yuji Nishida puts the ball on the floor, and Japan edges into the lead.
What a run here
He betted on one ball
for Japan. Let's listen
and
in.
he will bet again on strong serve now. One, take the ball on the middle if the ball is short, so you can stay a little bit more longer, and play again, guys. We have to enjoy one ball. Let's go.
Unofficially, I have Nishida with 4 aces. This should be his 4th, giving Japan the 1-point lead.
Speaking of unofficially, we've had some information that potentially Nimir might have broken a serve speed record in today's game. We'll wait to get that confirmed for you, but there is a rumor that he clicked 137 kilometers an hour on one of his serves.
No reason to pout for Nishida as he continues to serve aces against the Dutch.
Tom Cope's new into the game, finding the rhythm a little bit hard to pick up on that Nishida serve. He's probably bracing himself for the heavy one. With no timeouts left, Roberto Piazza makes the change to bring Plak back in for Wiltenburg, just to provide some disruption in the timing.
Hoping something works as Nishida continues to ace out the Dutch. Now up by 2, Japan. Wait a minute. Oh.
This Kamik leaving too early in his eagerness to get to the net. The bunching with AE and Plak. And all of a sudden, what was going so smoothly for the Netherlands has started to come unraveled, particularly in this Nishida service run.
Now a 3-point lead for Japan, their biggest of the set. Nice hit from Kops. Okawa pops it up. Nishida.
There's a point off the block. Sekita struggling with his hand. A little hard contact there.
And it
Japan.
seems like, yeah, they will rest Sekita after this serve first by Nishida.
Fukatsu told to take off the warm-up jacket and get ready on the sideline. And the damage done on the Nishida service run. A 3-point advantage now for Japan in the 3rd set.
15 points now for Nishida, overtaking the 12 of Ishikawa and putting Japan on top by 3. Fabian Plak serving. Ooh. More problems for the Dutch. There is a substitution to rest Sekita's hand.
Also to rest Nishida after that service rotation. Fukatsu and Miyaura make the double substitution.
Watsuka serving. The up coming from Van Harteren. Ai. Yes! Down the line against Japan's libero Ogawa.
Van Garderen takes the ball off the arms of Tom Copes. And Mikhail Ai takes the ball off the Otsuka block, so the Ishikawa block, for a point down the line, keeping the Netherlands in touch at just 3 points down.
Crowd chanting Holland. And nice hit coming from Kento Miyaura.
It is a delightful swing, beautiful clean contact, and drills the corner of the court. Wonderful tempo and wonderful execution by Japan.
First point for Miyaura, as Onodera serving with 4 points in the game. Kamink. Ai, nowhere to go. Ishikawa with a monster lock.
But it is a point for the Netherlands. The ball traveling past the sideline off the block. It looked like it was in. It was really close. The celebration sold us as well. 15-18, Tom Cobbs to serve for the Dutch.
Oh, that was way out.
Toss not as aggressive as he wanted, ended up taking the ball a little bit behind his desired contact point. Unable to get the ball down back into the court.
Short rest for Nishida. And he's back in.
So Japan without the recognized setter on the court. The first part of the double substitution returns.
Miyaura. Ai keeping it alive. Ishikawa.
Ogawa plays setter. A little bit disappointing. Kentaro didn't run a first tempo play there. I think he was on for the bump set for a 7. But Ishikawa takes care of business at the antenna. Japan now up 5. Miyaura keeps serving.
Biggest lead for Ryujin Nippon. Copes. An odd pass. And a block by Nishida on a push by Ai. Makes it a 6-point lead for Japan. Right now, Japan on cruise control. Well, that serve is outside for Miyaura.
We'll see the completion of the double substitution. But firstly, it will be Park and Son stepping out for the Netherlands. Silmace will come in for the service. Sekitara returns for Japan. Good innings from Miyaura.
So Silmace to serve. Has yet to score today.
A rotation fault for Japan. Sekita leaving early, and the judge have left too early for Ivalo Ivanov from Bulgaria.
Mays returns the point right back with a service fault.
There will only be 3 points required for Japan to wrap up this third set and the match.
And get their first win in this third leg of the VNL. Ishikawa. Black unable to save it. 2 straight points for Japan.
Von Karen lunges at the Ishikawa serve. Just outside the comfortable range for him, probably hit him right above the thumb on the wrist. Shoots it out.
Ishikawa with 13. Kamink to Black, pushes it. Ishikawa well set. Here comes Otsuka. Good coverage by Ondringa from the back. Ai, here's Ogawa to Sekita. Kantaro turned away. Sekita goes back to Otsuka. Ondringa with a dig. Van Haderen to Ai. Outside.
Ball is long, not the cleanest contact by Van Haderen on the set. So the ball does not end up where IE expects, and it is now match point for Japan. They have 7 of them to use. They'll be hoping to get it done on the first try. Ishikawa serving for the match.
Kamik. Van Hagelen looking to save. A match point he does.
So Japan will have the opportunity to get it done onside out.
Which they have been very good at so far this entire match.
So Kamik has put them under pressure from the service line, but I'm not sure he can get 6 back.
Ogawa with a pass. Sekita falling down as he set it. There's a block against Otsuka, and his back-to-back points for the Dutch.
Well, there's 1 back. Again, the target for Ogawa, working him all the way to position 1. Otsuka not having any chance to be aggressive on that ball, just trying to keep it in play.
So 2 match points saved by the Dutch.
Ishikawa takes his spot in position 1, but Ogawa will try and cover him as much as possible. As Kamik go the other way now to test the Otsuka seam. Finds Ishikawa. And another break point. The Netherlands not done yet at 2024.
Which forces Coach Philippe Blaine to call his final timeout. Gorgeous anticipation and hit coming from Van Hagelen.
This is the best quality of this serve. So be ready for this reception, pretty deep, and you manage. And you have the side out to do. Allez, go, cool.
They only need 1 more. But along the way, they've coughed up 3 match points. Biggest run for the Netherlands. Well, the big question is, can they go all the way? They're not even halfway through it. Kamik. Another shot at putting it away. Otsuka blocked. Ogawa with coverage. Otsuka tries again. Blocked again. Kentaro is saving it. Here's Nishida. The push. Kamik. Van Hagelen. There's Kamik with the first touch. Ai pushes. Sekita. 1-2 play. And Ishikawa puts it away.
Big finish for a big performance from the Japanese team. The Netherlands going down 3-0. A little fight in the tail there, a wag of the tail, as they might say. But Japan, the victors, in a comprehensive performance.
Coach Roberto Piazza and the Netherlands, their 5th straight loss as Ishikawa and Ryuji Nippon bounce back after losing in 5 against Canada. A sweep of the Dutch in their 2nd game of the 3rd leg of the 2024 VNL.
This is the highlight play. Again, the connection between Sekita and Ishikawa, knowing where he's going to be at all the time. Ishikawa scoring his 15th point of the match, just 1 behind Yuji Nishida with 16. For the Netherlands, Martin van Garderen, the only player to crack double figures. Convincing result by the Japanese superstars, who are adored by the fans here in Pasay City. Confirmation of the result, 25-18, 25-19, 25-20. Progress from set to set, but not enough from the Netherlands to force an extra.
And Japan will climb up to 7-3 in the standings.